Gak jelas. Parem pisan mah. Parem pisan apanya? Di dia we. Suara aman kan ya? Cek cek, oke. Rambut gue nggak belah aneh sih ya. Ngapain ya? Oh lagi beresin misi ya, lupa. Ini kemana sih? Pergi ke arah oh, Winjung balista itu ini ya. Ini kan ya? Terus oh,
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
oke. Exactly. What are you talking about?
What makes you think you can treat us like this?
Paimon?
No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningwan's plan all along.
Kontak saya kecuali.
She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a... now Paimon's mad! You! Over there! This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless! Now Paimon's mad! You!
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come! Line them up and knock them down!
Paimon tuh selalu lucu loh, bingung gua. Tolong sinyal, tolong sinyal, tolong. Jatuh. Wow, wow, wow.
Who goes there? Take the target alive.
Get the target alive. Eh,
Attack.
lawan monster gini aja lama sih gue. Ai nge-lag.
Tactical retreat. Who goes there?
Nge-lag deh.
Two
Ya,
arms.
please lah sinyal, please.
Take this.
Kayaknya harus diturunin kualitasnya. Segini tuh kualitasnya udah turun. Enggak, oh bisa. Kita 3000 kbps. Yeay, aman. Iya, nge-lag, masih nge-lag ah.
Who goes there? Attack.
Attack. Bentar gue ngapa lagi? Kocok. Ngapa di bawah kayak gini sih?
Take the target alive.
Mati nggak dia? PR banget ke atasnya lagi kalau udah kayak gini. Jancok. Ah, mager anjing. Main udah lama masih be konyol. Nokan ngapain coba? Males.
I'll race you there. I won't let you down.
Apaan sih, Liv? Ih. Gue pengen jedet-jedetin pala lama-lama. Nah, sini.
Bet you can't keep up with
2 arms! Take the target alive!
Leave it all to me.
Take this!
Someone's sister.
3, 2, 1.
I must leave no
Attack!
stone unturned.
Take the target alive! Mythic Triad! Beaten! 2 arms! Attack! Take this! Nested!
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Kuching, these 2 strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Guizhong ballista.
Who are you calling strange? You want to go to the Jade Chamber? Who are you?
Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Lila Chisi. Who are you? Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing. Oh! I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
In the mountains.
I
Wow.
didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either. The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. And yet, it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone. So, this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought. Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery. That was... Eh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber? Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti. We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti.
Mereka juga akan melindungi Liyue.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you? Huh? You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god.
Sombong aja.
Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us. You've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti. Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals, that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Chising? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. To think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them.
Hup. Cukup mengejutkan melihat betapa beradabnya mereka. Jadi ada kesempatan untuk membicarakan mereka bersama.
Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Li?
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, Traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till the cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber is the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor? But, wait, that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just...
Alright. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and, well then, may we meet again, Traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sure, Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Let's go.
Time waits for no one, and neither.
Paimon tuh lucu banget, ih asli dah. Quest selesai. Kayaknya quest harian dulu ya. Gimana kalau kita lawan raja dulu aja, cuy? Kuat ya? Oke. Ini gak ada yang mau nemenin gue main apa? Tumben sepi banget liat gue lagi. Gara-garanya apa ya? Nggak teratur oleh. Ikutan dong. Ayo ikutan dong. Ayo bantuin gue lawan raja yuk. AR gue masih rendah banget. Mana sih palanya? Nice shot. Oh, masih delay. Di mana nih titiknya? Di kepala lagi kita. Oh iya, di kepala lagi ya.
Rp20.000 dari Sahal, pesan, JGN lupa ngopi bang.
Waduh. Jangan lupa. Oh, makasih. Makasih. Asli sih, nggak ngira malam ini bakal ada yang donate. Siap. Abis ini gue bikin kopi dah. Siapa lagi Sahal? Makasih Bang Sahal. Semoga rezekinya dilancarkan semua urusannya, masalahnya, amin. Awas. Mana lagi palanya? Wah, thank you banget sih. Aduh, ya Allah. Rezeki nggak di mana ya? Nggak bisa join. Bentar bang, masih ada quest ternyata. Lu air berapa mas? Masih baru main mas. Baru AR 28. baru main 2 minggu mas, terus langsung download gitu. Mas gak apa-apa sih, enakan mas. Awalnya tuh cuma iseng, lama-lama ketagihan gitu, kok seru ya gitu. Terus ternyata si PC menyanggupi, ya udah gitu. Mending rakit PC. Iya sih, mending rakit PC daripada beli laptop ya. Ya, sinyal please. Asli enggak. Dulu kan sempat main Dragones, main Atlantica juga. Jadi kan roleplaynya hampir sama ya. Jadinya masih kayak masih paham gitu. Tapi kalau misalkan beneran baru main ya bisa ini kok mas. Kalau nggak percaya lihat live gue yang awal. Yang awal Genshiниmpact itu tuh beneran baru banget main. Terus alhamdulillahnya respon viewers yang lainnya baik gitu, pada nuntun gitu, harus kesini, harus ngapainnya gitu. Lawan kali ya, daripada bete. Si acing meledak dong. Buset, gue kira gue doang yang ketinggalan. Nggak ada yang ketertinggalan kok. Gue aja nggak tahu, masih belum bisa. Itu masih biar mode co-opnya kok nggak bisa ya. Padahal udah
Cold beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it.
ya masih mending. Berarti gua ketinggalan berapa? 1 tahun kali ya. Dari 2 titik. Sekarang udah tadi tuh langit cerah sebelum badai atau yang ini ya, equilibrium ya. Ya udah kita beresin quest dulu. Tadi pengen ngabisin itu dulu sih. Wah, ada 4 orang yang nonton. Jangan lupa subscribe ya. Berharga banget loh subscribe ternyata kalau lagi usaha kayak gini. Sedang berusaha di fasenya. Di bawah tah. Tapi sekarang udah air berapa bang? Ketinggalan 6 bulan.
It looks crystal clear and very delicious. That's the one.
Cari bahan-bahan yang dibutuhkan Pak Emang. Bahan apa aja yang dibutuhkan Pak Emang? Oh iya. Iya ya sih, quest Arkon sama quest story itu penting banget ya. Gak tahu kenapa gue malas tapi pengennya tuh ngayap-ngayap gini bega jelas. Keasikan di dunianya sih.
Is it just Paimon? Or
Iya.
is there a huh?
Ini juga belum kebuka ya, belum bisa dapet itu ya.
It seems like it came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Sekarang Mas sendiri udah air berapa tuh? Suruh ngapain ini? Selamatkan orang yang ada di dalam kurungan. Berantem kita berarti ya.
You're open. Direct assault. You're open.
Parrot technique. Halo, Mengdan. Aku AR 35 lagi nahan world level. Sekarang di AR 35 itu biasanya world level berapa sih? Ini kan aku 27,
Thank you
WL
for your
2.
help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell.
Terima kasih atas
Those treasure
bantuanmu.
hoarders, when their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry, I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I
Jadi,
often walk around these mountains in search of
Sarannya lebih
antiques.
baik quest Arkon sama itu dulu ya.
I never expected that those treasure hoarders.
Akhir-akhir ini lagi ada kegiatan sih, jadi nggak bisa ngegeder gitu.
Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use.
Of course we do.
Kemarin aja sempat
How
mentok
can one
di
sell antiques without gift boxes?
AR25 kan.
At Ningxin
Ternyata WL-nya harus
we
di
have the
upgrade
best
dulu.
gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon's sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Halo, 3 orang yang sedang menonton. Tadi apa nggak baca questnya, Cok? Ini suruh ngapain lagi kita? Beli tah. Sini, Be. Biar terbang-terbangan kita. Dragon Spine itu yang mana ya, lupa. Bahkan istilah-istilah pun aku belum tahu loh, Mas. Aku tuh beneran, aduh kayaknya harus ngapalin sih. Dragon Spine itu yang mana, Mas? Dragon Spine. Ini apa sih? Kalau ini apa? Ini apa? Oh, ini spiral abyss. Ingat-ingat itu spiral abyss. Dragon Spine. Map salju. Oh, belum deh kayaknya. Yang quest dunia ini ya, di tengah pegunungan. Ini gak sih Dragon Spine itu maksudnya? Ini aja belum, ini yang di gunung salju kalau nggak salah. Asli masih belum bisa adaptasi di gunung salju tuh, sering mati kawan ya Allah. masih sering kedinginan. Jauh gak sih? Masih jauh gak sih? Kalau gitu gak bakal turun dulu. Apa sih? Kemana kita? Lebih rendah 20 meter. Siap. 14, 10, 8. Oke. Sepertinya di sini. Hop. Bedu, emak-emak kasar ya. Sampai jumpa. Kalau bisa di air 25 kelarin Dragon Spine dulu, jangan naikin world level. Musuhnya ntar makin susah di sana. Iya, makanya ini levelnya dipentokin. BTW ini kemana sih? Kadang gue gini aja masih bingung. Lebih rendah. Ntar gue pusing. Sini. Nang ning set her. Oh bener, ke sising sih. Yuk lanjut bang. Yuk. Fik.
Uncle Mung already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Mung. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's all...
Yep.
Yep. It's great.
Hang on a moment. Could we borrow
Main
a-
Genshin Pick buat belajar bahasa Inggris juga, Pick. Improve-nya enak loh.
Sure, please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar frosted slime.
Paimon tuh
Into the box it
gue
goes,
cari
and dust it over with a bit more
aksesorisnya
polish.
di Tokopedia sama Shopee yang Paimon gitu. Ada yang bagus tapi mahal ternyata, di atas 300.
Oh yes, You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations too.
Kalau misalkan di bawah 200 kayaknya gue beli deh.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful.
Lucu banget Paiman tuh.
Great. Now that we've
Bisa
got
kita
all
akan
that we've
memasukkan
got into
semua yang
this
kita punya
box,
ke dalam kotak
let's
ini.
go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Oke. Deket ya. Oh, kening gua ke atas berarti. Mana sih jalannya Ningguang tuh? Manjat ah. Lagi mojok guys. PDKT doi. Kapan gue punya cewek lagi ya? Oh, Dimas belum coba voice Jepangnya. Oh iya, belum download voice Jepangnya. Sempet apa namanya? Masih nyaman sama voice Inggrisnya sih. Kalau misalkan udah bosen, udah bener-bener bosen baru. Tapi teman-teman yang lain pada nyaraninnya pakai voice Jepang sih. Katanya lebih menggoda gitu. Apa ya menggoda kok bahasnya? Menggoda. Kawaii. Lebih memuaskan hasrat-hasrat para wibu ya. Memuaskan hasrat wibu.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say.
Bentar Mi ya.
Excuse me, do you saw the moon here?
Nanti kalau misalkan join kadang langsung batal ya.
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please use this
Sebentar
to
nih
send
ya.
to the chamber. Yes. Speaking of
Jangan
which,
cepet
are
bosan
you
mainnya.
two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged?
Oh,
to
soalnya
meet
lebih kawaii
today?
jadi gak cepet bosan mainnya. Oh,
Yep.
segini gue gak cepet bosan sih. Cuman kayak banyak kerjaan aja yang lainnya. Jadi kayak nggak bisa ngegeder gitu.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuhang. What's going on here?
Ngapain kita sekarang? Kopi gue habis lagi. Ini yang
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyan Karst.
siapa teh nama karakternya nih teh? Lupa.
It's Ningguang.
Ningguang.
Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me.
Namanya
You have my
namanya
thanks.
juga game RPG, Mas.
It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet?
Gak ada. Parah.
Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
Wih, sombong deh.
At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited
Ini
you
cuma
was to
pulaunya
clear
gak
up some
bersahabat, Mas.
misunderstandings.
Jadi penasaran. Bicara dengan Ningguang.
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War.
Yeah.
Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought
Ini
between
waktu
them that did
waktu
not
cerita
abate until
kayak gini
2,000
tuh
years ago.
daya tarik sendiri sih sebetulnya.
Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat.
Cepat.
They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7.
Era of the
You
Seven.
can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war.
Rex Lapis itu dewa ya.
Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue. But the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that.
Because of
Another
that.
Lord of Geo will arise.
Another
sooner or
Lord
later.
of Q.
Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before.
Oke.
Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain
Banyak
Rex
jebakan.
Lapis's former subjects.
Nantilah
Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise?
kita geder Mas biar cepet ke
That day
Nezuma.
at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Ini siapa?
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
Why you're titit kuda, cok.
What do you think, traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Huh?
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
So please, this way. So please, this way. Enak banget bahasa Inggrisnya tuh. Enggak. Itu titit kuda siapa, cok? Nama kok titit kuda nih. Titit kuda. Ada banyak orang
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Bicara dengan Ningguang again. Ningguang tuh seksi banget ya.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
Berarti ini tuh baru dunia kedua ya setelah monster.
Merchants have always
Liyue.
been
Abis
attracted to
Liyue apa?
secrets.
Inazuma.
But
Abis
the
Inazuma ada
secrets
lagi
of the
nggak sih?
mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? you're rather, if possible,
Jika bisa,
I'd
aku
like
ingin
to have
mendapatkan
your trust.
kepercayaanmu.
But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching, you'd pick Kuching? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by
Katanya
memories of our
kematian Rex
usurpation
Lapis
of
itu
power.
cuman bohongan ya? Bang, kok muncul di YouTube gue ya? Padahal belum subscribe.
Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say
Mungkin
from
search
the
engine
very
ya?
beginning.
Apa ya? Bukan
I
search
called
engine,
for
apa
the
sih?
gag order
Algoritma
and for the
YouTube-nya.
Exuvia to be hidden to
Mungkin
temporarily
karena Abang Sahro
stabilize the
itu
situation.
sering buka
And also to prevent something
Genshin
similar to
Impact.
the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit.
Ya udah Bang,
As
kalau
the
belum
Tianquan,
subscribe
one
lah Bang.
responsible for Liyue, I cannot
Alhamdulillah.
appearances when opposing them.
Makasih Bang.
Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return. So, does that include us?
Ngarep hadiah Paymonin.
It's all right.
It's alright.
I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Apa ini?
Yay! Paimon was just waiting
Dapat
for you
hadiah
to
apa
say
ya?
that. Let's
Dari Ningguang.
see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall.
Kertas di papan itu. Bukannya itu berharga banget ya? Pasti Paimon tuh
Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine
lucu banget Paimon.
how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one. The biggest.
Pilih satu buah lembar salju. Duduk. Oh ini.
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la.
Ayo kita lihat dulu apa yang tertulis di atasnya.
There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all.
Ya tah, baperin terus. Coba bentar, kita taikin KBPS nya. Apa? Abis hujan, IndiHome tuh kadang gitu sih. Semoga gak ngelag ya.
This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the
Baperin
shadows of
mulu ya.
Liyue,
Hari-hari Pak.
spreading rumors,
Kirain sama
trying to get
Syahrul
their hands on
Tanjung
the archive's
sama
body
Hari-hari
and
Pak.
whatnot.
buffering terus ya, tapi udah ditingkatin kok kilobyte per second ya.
But research on the sigil of permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also
Bisa
between
tak?
you and the sigil of permission.
Iya gede.
Seems there's still more for us
Dadah.
to find out.
Bang, kenapa nggak pakai Saweria? Nggak tahu deh. Sebenarnya belum nyoba juga sih.
You really think so?
Primazalan sama Saweria juga belum pernah nyoba. Awal tahunnya tuh sosial bus, jadi kayak oh ya udah, yang pertama tahu dulu kita coba. Nanti mungkin setelah beberapa saat bisa diganti jadi Saweria. Atau mungkin bisa pakai keduanya, tapi kayaknya nggak deh
So
kalau
you're
pakai
saying
keduanya.
that it's precisely because
Kalau
we
pakai
can't
keduanya malah
defeat
jadi ribet sih
Trust
menurutku.
Ningguang, that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
Jadi kita observasi dulu ya. Pergi kemana kita? Tuh, aduh nge-lag. Nggak kuat dia ternyata. Kalau misalkan oh, sosial busnya lagi error. Tadi teman-teman apa namanya? Teman-teman yang teman-teman yang streaming juga tadi di grup lagi pada ngomel-ngomel karena sosial busnya lagi pada error.
It's hard to remain on dry
Tapi tadi
land
ada yang
for so
donate
long.
sih, masuk alhamdulillah.
Quite seem to get my land legs back.
Pun tadi gua waktu buka sosial busnya emang lagi error sih. Gak tahu kenapa. Sesuatu hal yang tidak bisa dikendalikan sih kalau itu. Jadi ya udah. Akhir-akhir ini sering hujan kali ya, sinyal tuh jelek. Apalagi kalau IndiHome ya. IndiHome dikasih hujan tuh udah kayak kartu tri. IndiHome dikasih hujan udah kayak kartu tri. Asli deh. Ini aja nge-lag mas 99. Nge-lag dong. Ya nge-lag. Bentar ah, mau bikin kopi dulu. Bikin kopi dulu guys. Wait a minute.
Cold beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. It's hard to remain on dry land for so long. Never quite seem to get my land legs back. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. Cold beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it. to remain on dry land for so long. Never quite seem to get my land legs back. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. Cold beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it.
Yo, makasih udah mampir. Sorry tadi bikin kopi dulu
If you ever
lama.
want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Terus nunggu sinyal, enak juga sih. Gas mabar om, gas cold. Gaskeun kita mabar. Baru 2 kali gacha, tapi belum ada yang hoki loh. Kapan hoki gacha? Lah kok ini kagak bisa keluar. Kemana sih? Darmin. Gue nih Mehmet, oi Met. Met main FF kita Met, bantuin gue cari viewers di FF kayaknya asik deh Met. Apa sih? Ayo abis quest ini gue bakal ngabisin resin karena resin gue masih ada 120 lagi. Kita lawan raja. Kalau gue lawan raja sendiri kayaknya belum kuat sih level karakternya karena level karakter gue tampung kan duitnya buat nanti dapat karakter yang lebih enak. Sejauh ini gue belum dapat karakter yang enak. Iya, jadi gue gak pernah main lagi cok. Ya main lagi ayo Met. Tapi si Easy itu main lagi. Kemarin gue ketemu Excel loh Met. Ada Excel, ada Ariel di rumah Abu. Kalau bayangannya mana bayangan mana sih bayangan kualitas bayangan terendah soalnya bayangan tuh kayaknya nggak terlalu ngefek ya. Darman dan Darmin. Ada apa ini? Oh ada geosigil 2. Ini kita ngapain lawannya? Siap, kita lawan guys.
If we were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us too.
Kayaknya gue belum kuat deh.
Time to clean up.
Lari. Kagak ada yang kena Jan. Cok. Kita yang rese banget yang es.
Leave it all to me.
Wow. Aduh, bedu gua sampai mau mati loh.
Steady as stone. I must leave no stone unturned.
Mati konyol gue nih lawan raja ini. Iya, soalnya si Chong Yun-nya nggak di-use ih. Jadi nggak ada counternya.
Steady as stone.
Bete banget lama damage-nya kagak adaan aja.
Let it rain.
Udah mana pedas musuhnya.
I must leave no stone unturned. Someone needs assistance. As a good knight should.
Yuk, bisa bertahan yuk. Download ML aja, Pes. HP gue masih belum ganti, Matt. Masih yang lama, Matt.
Let's not waste time.
Ya kagak kena gue.
Let's end this quickly.
Kagak ada bag Noelnya juga, masih kecil levelnya. Gak enak ya main ML di PC, men.
Let's end this quickly.
Level berapa sih? 40 padahal. Buat live. Pegel cowok. DPS gua si Bedu satu elemen sama dia. Kalau lagi kayak gini nggak bisa ganti kan? That's so hard. Lama banget. Cuman 40 39 deh bikin. Perasaan tadi gue liat apa ya, batu. Let's move. Gue pengen pakai Chongyun dulu, jangan dulu perang kan kagak bisa ya. Tuh jancok. Ini apa? Lihat nyedot damage-nya tuh dikit banget anjing. Jancuk. Sorry, ada hambatan. Ntar gua lagi uji nyali, cok.
Didn't make it.
Ih, mati.
I'll catch up.
Nggak ada damage-nya. Bete banget sih anjing, lama banget. Bosen gue denger suara dia lama-lama. Bacot anjing. Bete gue. Nggak ada counternya, bete banget. Suruh kemana dah? Oh ini yang tadi.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too. What are they for?
Halo Ren. Sini gue bantu. Apa sih?
Seen this pattern before?
Jangan, kalian tuh udah pada jago. Biarin newbie tuh berusaha untuk menjadi lebih keren.
A relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like... Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic.
Ren kemana aja lo Ren? Baru nongol.
Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers.
Lu bacanya telat anjing. Lu marah-marah mulu perasaan.
Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect.
Karena HP gue mati.
To channel divine
Gue baca
powers.
komentar live-nya tuh di HP.
Ooh, that sounds pretty dangerous. And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure.
Oke.
Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Paimon. Baru bangun. Kayak temui Zhongli di Hua Mars. Ntar. Cok nge-lag. Ntar gue pegel lah. Tar ya. Ngudut dulu, nyantai. Lagi PT berapa? PT itu apaan? Allahu Akbar. Kayak surga dunia banget tuh sih rokok tuh bagi gue. Uh. Kayaknya gue butuh si Cahyo deh. Mana si Cahyo? Ganti Amber dulu kali ya.
Time for some training?
Hard to remain on dry land for so long. I seem to get my land back.
Udah lama nih nggak pakai si Cahyo. Ini quest apa? Kelewatin. Kalian ah. Jangan deh satu-satu. Oke. Banner ini maksudnya. Riwayat. Ini. Ya 73 doang. Suram banget gua gacha kemarin. Bunga sising.
The more the merrier. The first round's on me.
Itu ada teleport ya? Kenapa gue jalan ya? Ah udah. Lagian Ren ada baik ritual lu. Bakar rumah Pak RT. Bukan kayak gitu Ren masalahnya Ren. Bapak RT itu bapak gua Ren. Gimana? Masa gua bakar rumah gua sendiri? Bapak gua Pak RT Ren. Gimana dong? Ya saran lu kagak gua terima lah. Kalau Pak RT-nya orang lain mah ya ayo. Chong Yun gua masih pedas gak sih? Kok gue nyempil di sini ya? Oh,
Not bad. I must leave no stone unturned.
mampus lu gua bantai sini.
One with my blade.
Chong Yun itu level karakter berapa sih bintangnya? 4.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago.
Halo, hayu guys ip. Belum sempat install lupa.
Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Nanti malam kita install. Besok kita main aja.
Pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Indeed.
Indeed.
It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
Yaudah nggak apa-apa siapa tahu hoki anjing. Nanti gue tidur di mana Ren anjing. Kalau misalkan rumah gue dibakar.
Paimon thinks she's, her take on Ningguang is
Lagian ritual ada baik bakar rumah biar hoki anjing.
thinks that even the tactless Hyuhung is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, also met with Kuchi. What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even Liyue and Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Iya.
No respect for the divine.
Iya, makanya maaf nih ya kalau misalkan ada yang ngejak mabar belum bisa kayak gitu tuh, lagi ngejar misi quest sama misi arkon sih. Kalau misi quest arkon sama quest story kan nggak bisa mabar ya. Jadi maaf gitu. Bukannya sombong, bukan. Nanti kita mabar kalau udah ada waktunya. Dan Raja sering diajak mabar kok. Kalau misalkan gue lagi butuh bantuan dia buat lawan Raja.
It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Number 1.
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be
Jahat lu, Ren, jahat.
That is how the Fatui have always
Demi dapat karakter bintang 5
doesn't
ya.
surprise me in the least.
Harus bakar rumah.
No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Diwa Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingsa Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out.
Okay.
Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance.
Pintar banget ya si Zhongli itu.
That's correct. Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So how good is your singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know when she starts singing.
Jahat banget sih Paimon, bangsat julid dia. Kalau sekarang buat ngumpulin heroes with aja atau Mara, gimana kan maksudnya? Wah, bunga.
It's time to sing. Whenever you're ready.
Ini jarang banget ya karakter utama ngomong. Cuman da 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 da. Ternyata musuh. Da 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 ternyata musuh.
That they don't understand here in Liyue? Steady as stone.
Empat. buat ngumpulin darah. Bego gue sekarang ternyata. Cok. Coba lu teh pada bersatu bisanya. Si anjing ngilang.
Swift and merciful.
3, 2, 1. Iya. Kagak mati. Mora tuh koin. Iya.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower.
Whopper flower.
Strange. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value.
Oke.
Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Oke. Teguh gue.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Ren, lu masih nonton gak Ren? Kalau yang nonton, gue mau minta tolong coba pencet donate deh. Bisa masuk atau enggak sih?
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
Siapa? Yang si Amber suka tuh? Coconut.
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Coconut. Cocogot. Coconut. Enggak nih.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
Yeah, I remember your name.
That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
I
Well, it
feel
sure would
good.
have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way?
Kiki.
Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met.
Well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry, we shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis.
Oh, berarti
It's
5
truly
dari
a
The
changing
Seven
of the
telah
guard.
wafat.
Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago.
Barbatos
Of the
itu berarti
current
si
7 Archons,
ini kan?
the youngest is
Pi,
Sumeru's god of
Pinte,
Dendro. She is
Penti.
nearly 500 years old. Whereas this means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War.
Berarti usianya udah tua dia
After
ya.
the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies?
10.000 dari Aif. Pesan buat kopi liong.
Aduh, Ip.
I've just picked one myself.
Thank you parah sih, Ip.
You may have
Ip,
it if
thank you, Ip.
wish.
Asli ini mah thank you, Ip.
We
Aduh,
dare not
yang jadi
refuse.
malu, Ip.
Did you sing a song before?
Udah, Ip, udah bikin kopi liong ya, Ip. Nih, kopi
Indeed,
liong.
I did.
Kopi
I
liong.
know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow,
Thank
so
you, thank you,
really know
thank you,
your
thank you,
stuff.
thank you, thank you.
Cute. Thanks, Ganyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
Oke,
And
good luck.
that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Karakter Zhongli adalah tipe yang cocok untuk bidang pengembangan pertanian. Dia alumni pertanian kayaknya dia.
Imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already.
Wow.
Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time.
Oke.
So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow.
Wah, keren keren keren.
Zhongli
keren.
sounds like he's already seen it all.
Gue suka banget kalau misalkan si Zhongli lagi ngomong tuh selalu ada maknanya gitu loh. Kayak yang tadi dia bilang tuh kalau misalkan mau buka bisnis tuh tekanan tuh akan hilang dari waktu ke waktu. Berarti tantangannya sabar. Ini nggak ada apa-apa lagi kan di sini. Kita kemana sekarang? Balik lagi ke Liyue. Guys, balik lagi ke Liyue. Udah pinter, bijaksana lagi ya. Mana anjing Discordnya? Apa sih guys? Apa sih itu? Kamu tuh kasar jadi orang ya. Gak boleh kayak gitu cok. Santai be jadi orang tuh. Kalem.
What happened? The city gate is swarmed.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wengsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Kayaknya perang ya.
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing.
Kenapa? Apa yang dilakuin si Ningguang?
She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on
Kebijaksanaan
us?
dia tuh ditolak banyak orang ya.
That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
Okay.
Looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance?
Wah, si Zhongli itu bangsat kalau dia ngomong tuh.
Neither path is an easy one.
Ini apa? Lebay banget lu, Ren.
Oh, by the way,
Biasalah, Ren.
Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng
Kita tuh
funeral
punya
parlor
budaya
is
ini
also
loh, Ren.
caught up in all
No
this.
toxic, no
They're
game.
currently squaring off
Itu
with
udah
the authorities
tertanam
on
di
this.
banyak pikiran orang.
Things are taking a turn for the worse.
Kadang-kadang kayak gitu. Tapi gue nggak setuju sih sebenarnya. Tapi ya gimana
I'm
lagi
afraid I
kalau
must
misalkan
leave now to
situasinya kayak
handle
gitu.
things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Jadi siapa nih sumbunya di sini?
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword.
Of course.
Now, what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him.
Beneran si Cil dia tah?
He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Ayo kita ikutin si Cil dia berarti ya. Ya Allah, ini kagak ada ini nih tempat tinggi. Lebay, sejak kapan adik kayak gitu? Adik. Ya terserah orang sih, Ren. Mau dia toxic mau enggak, I don't care about it. So Inggris ya gue. So Inggris. Kadang ada banyak hal yang harus dia udahin dan tidak pedulikan gitu loh. Kalau misalkan terlalu memperdulikan banyak orang tuh malah kita pusing sendiri. Kayak nih gue mati cowok kalau gini caranya. Nyampe nggak ke situ? Nyampe nggak? Nyampe. Ya gue mati anjing, gue mati. Ah lu sih. Jadi gue mati. Kalau lu bohong, lu bakar rumah lu sendiri. Pasti pada ribut di komentar, gue mati betul jadinya. gue mati jatuh. Kocak banget ya, udah AR segini masih sering jatuh-jatuhan ya. Padahal nggak dewasa.
No purer form of water than rain.
Ya dewasa itu pilihan sih
Aids
sebetulnya.
greatly at purging of evil.
Karena dewasa itu pilihan. Ya lu mau bersikap dewasa bisa, ya lu mau bersikap gak dewasa juga ya udah. Tapi semua tindakan itu pasti punya konsekuensinya tersendiri gitu. Entah itu tindakan baik atau buruk, semua hal yang kita lakuin pasti punya konsekuensi.
Ride on wind and cloud alike.
Anjing gue males tahu cuaca kayak gini, ngeri ya ini. Ini tuh kita ke kaget gua. Bangsat, kaget gua. Apa sih kalian tuh apa? Emas dan bayangan kesendirian. Level party saat ini lebih rendah dari yang disarankan. Oh, rekomendasi level party. Ini kita berantem di sini. Kuat gitu karakter gua. Rekomendasi ini dong. Semangat merasakan penyiksaan child. Si child itu Geo ya? Ini tuh Geo bukan sih? Geo itu counternya apa? Ini masih pada kecil lagi, level 21, 20, 50, 40. Oh, Hydra itu ya udah gini kali ya. Gas dulu kali ya. Berhasil gak berhasil ya nice try. Toh ini game just for fun. Oh, Hydro itu makanan kelapa itu kan. Hydro koko krik. Jadi ini golden house. Jadi si Cilde itu jahat ya? Gio cok emas doang anjing. Kayaknya gue bakal mati konyol berapa kali ya di sini. Ada yang bisa nebak gak gue bakal mati konyol berapa kali di sini? Ikatan rambut mana ya? Aku cari ikatan rambut ah. Apa sih? Kalian masih konflik aja. Di sini terlalu sepi ya. Begitu penting pastinya.
Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Aduh, gua cukukan.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides. So
Kamu
why
sudah
do you
memenuhi
still
tugas.
linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
Who's there? Si Cilde kan?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled.
Jahat sih udah tuh.
She will get that which she desires.
Aku tidak akan membiarkannya.
I'm
Tidak.
not asking for your blessing.
Aku tidak
There's
akan
nothing you can do
membiarkannya.
to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle.
So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
Yeah.
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it. Now let's see you live up to it.
Fighting Chat, I love it. Well, mari kita bertarung dengan Childe.
This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Anjing.
How unbecoming. Poor timing.
Apa dia diam aja sih?
Not bad, not bad.
Sombong amat, cok. Dia jadi orang.
Poor timing. Passable effort. Celestial Voyager. You've made some progress. Guess I should take you more serious. Good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you.
Darahnya kok penuh lagi sih?
That just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Oh, di sininya dia pedes ya.
Leave it all to me.
No use hiding back there.
I'll catch up.
My turn. Raging tide. You've got some skills.
Kenapa gua ganti itu ya? Udah gitu dong.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get.
Ah, bentar dulu.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected.
Yo, anjing dibunuh. Apa itu goblok?
Well then, I'll be taking Morax's gnosis now.
Bangsat.
I see. Well, this is most unexpected.
Waduh, 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 waduh.
You beat me to it, didn't you?
Marah tas si Cildenya. Anjing kayak Power Ranger berubah anjing. Kayak Power Ranger Satria Baja Hitam. Satria Baja Cilde. Oh ya deh. Cilde Helbinger ke-11. Not bad. Oke. Ah, Paimon coming in. Aduh. Paimon coming in. Wow. Keren. Ya bedu gua gak bakal guna. Pyrotechnic. Au. Ya nge-lag. Ya please dong jangan nge-lag. Ya 99. Ya. Cok 99 sinyalnya. Bentar ya. Cok masih. Bentar atuh 99 sinyal gua. Aduh, Changyun gua keserot darahnya lagi. I'll catch up.
Die here.
Dia lagi ngapain dia? Aduh, ngilang si bang. Wow, keren juga ya Cildenya. Mana sih? Bentar, gua mau nyelamatin Chongyun gua dulu biar nggak sekarat.
Die here.
Waduh, langsung mati Chongyun gua. Chongyun gua mati. Oh, di PS-nya juga sakit ternyata ya. Ejet bos, ejet. Oh iya, males gua. Bukan karena nggak bisa, males. Abis ini kita beresin Ren. Tapi jam 12, gua besok berangkat jam 5:30 lagi.
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through, and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Senora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
BTW apa sih dapat IG-nya boleh kali? Apa dah kalian gara-gara kalian dengar gak sih percakapan tadi si Child pertemanan dengan sebuah pertarungan, kayak akhirnya kalian berteman gara-gara bacot gak jelas. Selamat kalian berteman. Sok mutualan.
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How could an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa. Breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Berantem lagi dah? Enggak kan? Anjing ngarep di follow.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Seru cok, seru.
He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Bakal ada pertarungan lagi nggak sih?
Paimon's exhausted.
Ini dewa yang tadi dibangkitin sama si Celde.
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed...
What are you doing here?
Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade?
Keren. Alurnya suka gua, pada berkumpul jadinya.
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now.
Wajib sih,
and
keren
unite
sih.
against this common enemy.
Jangan dulu ganggu, gua mau serius baca.
Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
Mari kita saksikan bersama-sama tentang konflik yang ada di Liyue.
Just you. You've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing?
Yeah, of course. Indeed.
So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
Kayaknya si Alipes ini bakal diajak nanti buat perang.
Can't you think of something?
One certainly could. The Qi-Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take one, but a little tinkering
Oh,
to turn this
si Guizhong Ballista itu yang bakal jadi senjata buat ngelawan musuh itu ya?
wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for.
Keren banget tuh cewek si Ningguang.
We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Kenapa harus ada apa sih dua-duanya?
Yep.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Genshin Ballista!
Ayo kita war, guys. Ih, gua seneng. Polisinya jangan nge-lag ya. Titik balik bersama-sama mengusir dewa kuno.
All able Millilith, with me!
Apa ini?
Go help too!
Hajar itu.
The Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? What wishes to witness? Listen, merciful.
Cooldownnya sih ini lama banget. Oh, lindungi. Kemana lagi nih? Mana sih? Musuhnya mana lagi?
That is Osial's divine power.
Keren sih grafiknya. Musuhnya mana lagi sih?
Be careful not to get hit.
Au.
How dare you? Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Were you about to say we can't hold?
Aduh, Chongjun gua mati. Ini mah gua mati ini mah.
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
Oh, dia dikasih darah sama ini.
That light from your body, it's like the tiny giant cars! Wow, it's Madam King's shockwave! This granny's really strong! I must leave no stone unturned.
Aduh.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might!
Bisa makan kan ya? Bisa makan gak sih?
I too did this during the Archon War!
Apa? Oh, dapat medkit ya?
What Guyanese like in a fight!
Oh, kalau deket ini dapat medkit.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
Keren cu, cok keren co, gue suka banget co. Wih, gue dapat speed, attack speed. Wih, 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 wih.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with me.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Look at me.
Mana sih yang 50%? Oh ini. Anjing belum mati dia. Pengen puas gue.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right? Hear the tools.
This is it. My duty.
Look at me.
Cooked food. Disgusting.
The Patui's numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Berhasil, Cok. Berhasil, Cok.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We
It's
just need to keep this up!
Ya, terus gimana ini? Ya. Keren. Keren.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What is?
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
What do you mean?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend.
Ya.
Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Sedih. Wow, anjing. si Ningguang meninggal tah? Si Ningguang meninggal tah? Ren, si Ningguang mati Ren. Gue mau nangis loh Ren. Gue mau nangis liatnya. Keren
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the overlord of the vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance.
Oh enggak
If
deh.
the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in grave.
Cuman rumahnya yang melayang aja ya berarti yang diiklasin.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber.
Oh, Jade Chamber-nya
At
aja.
first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion.
Kenapa harus tetenya yang diliatin jancok?
Lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Sedih.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Gue pengen karakter si Xiao.
Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened?
Halo,
dear?
3 orang yang baru nonton.
Quite the predicament.
Alangkah baiknya kalian throwback ke beberapa menit yang lalu.
Strong Millelith guards were there, and the
Asli keren sih.
heroes with their visions were there.
Keren.
Everyone was there.
Efeknya keren banget.
And dangerous.
Animasinya keren
Everyone
banget.
always protects you.
Alur ceritanya juga
The
sama.
rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an adept.
Halo Bang. Konfliknya baru selesai Bang. Tadi rame banget. Perang lawan dewa yang dibangunin sama si Cilde. Kalian yang udah air tinggi pasti udah kelewat sih. Tapi keren sih alur ceritanya. Gue masih tersanjung aja.
There is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
And its people. And its
Seeing the
people.
court around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contract...
Kayaknya mau tidur Ren. Besok ada kegiatan pagi-pagi yang nggak bisa ditinggalin. Abis misi ini kayaknya udahan dulu. Biar apa ya? Biar feel-nya enak juga sih Ren. Kayak gue masih nginget momen-momen tadi. Itu keren banget sih. Apalagi waktu si Ningguangnya ngancurin rumah. Keren banget.
In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right. It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death?
Jangan-jangan muncul di sini.
Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhang Li's going. Let's ask for him at
Mari kita perpisahan dengan Babang Zhongli. Aduh, Babang Zhongli ini babang pinter ya. Di sini ya, biar terbang. Asli keren tadi efek visualnya.
World Parlor.
Kayak foto bapak-bapak. Ih, gue senang banget malam ini. Mana sih si Jongli?
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Aduh, gue seneng banget malam ini. Pokoknya gue seneng banget malam ini. Gue seneng banget malam ini.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Ini ada konflik apa lagi
Don't
nih?
take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Anjing. Dia gak boleh kasar.
You should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have
Tapi resin belum dihabisin ya?
anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee.
Belum selesai ternyata konfliknya ya.
My promise is solid as stone.
Jam berapa sekarang? 1:30. Apa itu?
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter so...
Oh, wajar ya si Zhongli itu OP parah. Dia Rex lapis.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyric goes into an uproar.
Ayo, Paimon, marahlah.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As
Okay.
you know,
As you
I've
know.
dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue, together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age?
Kalau gua ada di sana, kayaknya gua udah ngancurin mereka semuanya.
In order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for.
Goblok.
Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people.
The hearts of the
Credit is
people.
also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There was only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Gila.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. Wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The
goblok.
Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
Sensitif banget sih.
Hey, haven't you learned the Leo is saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then,
Well,
with
well.
Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Wah, anjir, digantung. Dia kan genosis ya taruhannya. Terus yang si itu Babai Zhongli, dewa tertua atau Rex Lapis, naga bodoh yang pura-pura mati.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go.
Paimon, stop talking about anything.
There now.
Ada. Jatuh gua.
Unexpected, but welcome. Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Gak punten-punten dia lewat.
The assassin could have been a normal person. You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Masyarakat jadi khawatir ya.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Masyarakat heboh, guys.
And to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millelith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Hear ye all, the Chising's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now.
Ningguang. Wah, perpisahan kita dengan Liyue.
Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something? Are their speech?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
Padahal dia pernah ketemu.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we reestablish?
Akhirnya gue nemu titik seru buat main Genshin non-stop.
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler,
really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You
Aku
deserve
ingin
that much.
senjata bintang 5 sama karakter bintang 5.
Well, could you help me put up some
Ih,
missing
ngomong.
posters?
Perhaps.
As for the more
Ini sok-sokan gua tampol juga lama-lama si Zhongli nih. Gua tampol.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex, and here you are looking all relaxed.
Dimarahin sama Paimon. Dewa tertua di Taipat dimarahin Paimon.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal.
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli.
Oh, wajar kalau si misalkan si Zhongli dia nggak percaya Mora ya.
Knockout? But you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Qinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Morax like Mora?
Karena dia tahu sejarahnya Paimon.
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do.
Dia terbiasa jadi dewa, Cok.
When I was journeying with you, though I still had the gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to.
Iya, karena dia dewa Paimon.
But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Karena dia nggak terbiasa.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the city of commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue.
Yosho dipuji dewa tertua.
There is no journey that does not end, but no meetings without partings.
Tidak ada pertemuan tanpa perpisahan.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
Raiden.
Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there?
It's because of visions.
Vision? What is vision?
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged.
Jadi vision
by
itu
the
bisa buat orang jadi kuat yang diberikan oleh dewa ya kepada seseorang.
That's how people in Japan see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Why?
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
You want to seize visions? But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
Iya, kontradiktif ya. Di dewa yang buat, terus dewa juga yang memerintahkan untuk mengumpulkan semua vision.
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Jadi Inazuma atau Raiden Shogun itu dia pengen nguasain Taipat secara keseluruhan ya dengan mengumpulkan vision.
That's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose
Jadi
a threat to her.
Raiden Shogun tuh ngerasa kalau misalkan vision itu mengganggu mereka ya, mengganggu keabadian mereka.
The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again.
Karena si Zhongli kabarnya udah meninggal, mereka bakal makin barbar ya.
7 ideals for 7 gods. And of
Screenshot
these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles.
Principles.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Tentang penghakiman. Penasaran sama ini?
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Leo Chising don't want to face that, Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Chising's plan to take, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse. That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions?
Gifting dream and vision? Kayak telepati kali ya?
All right then. Was there anything else? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that I hinted as much to the Adepti as well.
Tapi kasihan si Ningguang nggak sih? Dia mengorbanin rumah ngelayang.
How did I accomplish that, you ask? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.
Kue selesai. Banyak quest baru. Udah ada misi harian lagi, Be. Nanti ya misi hariannya. Oke, terima kasih banyak udah nemenin live-nya. Kayaknya mancing. Thank you semuanya. Makasih semuanya. Makasih. Oke. Ganda masih ada kah? Kayaknya udah nggak ada deh. Terus gue mau off karena besok harus ngerjain suatu kewajiban. Thank you parah loh apa sih udah mau nemenin. Thank you. Oke, selamat tinggal, selamat malam, bye bye.